Hey guys, Lunar Spawn 27 here, bringing you Bleach, Chapter 630, The Twined Twilight. Previously on Chapter 629, the Shinigami finally make their move, but Mayuri and Nemu separated from the group. But they get a surprise as Kenpachi, Ikaku, Yumichika, and Hanataro show up with them. And it seems that Mayuri and Kenpachi were going to fight against each other, which honestly would be pretty cool, but again, fate of the entire Bleach universe is at stake here, but whatever. Ichigo and the others encounter Askin, Nakalevar, and Grimmjow pulls a Leroy Jenkins and attacks him.
Leroy Jenkins!
Meanwhile, Bazz-B, Lil Toto, and Giselle made it to the new palace and are ready to take on not only Uryuu, but Haschwalth as well. And that is all you need to know what happened in last week's chapter. Oh, and Aizen still hasn't shown up yet. Guess they left him behind sitting on that chair. Okay, so in this week's chapter, after Grimmjow attacked Askin, it seems that Ichigo and Grimmjow were going to get into another argument, but it turns out Askin was still alive, of course, and used this as an opportunity to run away. Grimmjow, of course, chases after him, and it turns out that Askin did intend to attack the group, just do it covertly and stealthily. And I just freaking love how Grimmjow and Askin were talking to each other while they were running away. I gotta be honest here, out of all the Stern Reachers, Askin is actually one of the more likable Quincy's I've seen so far. Well, him and Bazz-B. I mean, Bazz-B's freaking cool after all. So since he learned Grimmjow was an enemy of Ichigo, he tries to get him to join sides so that they can take down Ichigo together. But of course that doesn't work. Well, considering that Grimmjow wants to be the one to take down Ichigo, not Askin. His hands then turn into these black claws. I had no idea Grimmjow can do that. And he says that once he catches up to Askin, he's gonna skin him alive, and that's basically it from the two. Yeah, honestly, this kind of turned out comedic, which was kind of funny, but it's actually something I wasn't expecting. We then cut back to the new Warweld's palace as one of the Quincy soldiers, I'm just gonna call him Mustache Quincy, informs Haschwalth that the members of the Schutzstaffel have split up into 5 different directions to search out their targets. And that also includes Uryuu. Now, Haschwalth still doesn't trust Uryuu, so he orders Mustache Quincy to spy on him, and if he sees him acting outside of orders, he has to inform Haschwalth immediately. But before Mustache Quincy gets the chance to leave, he gets a burner finger right through his head out of the eye. No, Mustache Quincy, why'd you have to die? You know, come to think of it, it's been a while since a character or fodder died. I think the last thing we saw dying was one of those Mimihagi things. And I guess Ukitake also counts, but we don't know if he's really dead or not. And then there was also Nanana, but I don't know if he's dead. Anyway, thus begins the fight between Haschwalth and Bazz-B. Oh, and in case you guys were wondering where the hell Giselle and Lil Toto are, I really have no idea. So Bazz-B tries to use Burner Finger 1, but Haschwalth grabs his wrist, flips over him, uses his cape to block his view, and then hits Bazz-B at the bottom of the hilt of his sword. But Bazz-B was able to grab the hilt and use his Burner Finger to burn the cape and try to blast Haschwalth. Now, it didn't really do that much damage on Haschwalth. I mean, he was bleeding at the side of his head, but that was all the damage Bazz-B could do. Haschwalth realized that his previous wounds were from the Ashwallen, meaning that he wasn't chosen. He did try to express his sympathies, but Bazz-B ain't buying it. He didn't like the idea of the Ashwallen because according to him it was genocide. Those that did avoid the light had their Volstandig powers stolen, so that means that Bazz-B can't use his Volstandig anymore. And those that did get hit by the light, those that were chosen because of the Ashwallen, had their lives stolen. It turns out that Bazz-B and Haschwalth had some sort of history together, like they were friends. In fact, back then they were such good friends that Haschwalth even gave Bazz-B a nickname, Baz. Baz, really? That's his nickname? I mean, you're just taking away the B from Bazz-B. Like, what the hell? Anyway, as Bazz-B prepares Burner Finger 2, we find out that night will be falling soon, making it the second night since this invasion has started, I believe. And when night falls, Uryuu has to sleep, and his and Haschwalth's powers will switch. Now, I believe that was actually kind of hinted in the previous night, but for Uryuu's power and Haschwalth's power to switch, is it because of Haschwalth's balance power, or is it because Uryuu is Stern Reacher A and Haschwalth is Stern Reacher B or something? Well, I'm not really sure. But Bazz-B does declare that he will kill Uryuu and Haschwalth, and the chapter ends with a flashback panel of a town caught on fire and what appears to be a young Bazz-B watching it all. So yeah, that is Bleach chapter 630. What did I think? Honestly, this was a better chapter than the last two because the last two chapters were set up, but at least here, just like in the previous chapter, something actually happens. Now, the beginning part with Grimmjow and Askin, I wasn't expecting it to turn out comedic in a way, but it was kind of funny seeing Askin and Grimmjow interacting with each other all the while they're going through this little game of cat and mouse. In fact, I'm hoping we'll get to see more of Askin and Grimmjow because I actually like these guys. As for the fight between Haschwalth and Bazz-B, even though it has started and we haven't seen anything new as of yet, the beginning part is actually not bad. It's actually pretty decent, and I had no idea that Haschwalth and Bazz had some sort of history with each other. We now know that these two were very good friends in the past, and considering what we saw in the final page, I'm guessing next week we're going to get some sort of flashback looking into either Bazz-B's backstory or Haschwalth's backstory, or seeing these guys' friendship and what changed between the two. It definitely has piqued my interest, so I'm hoping that if we do get a flashback, it will be a good one. You know, give us more of a reason as to why we want to root for Bazz-B or sympathize with not only Bazz-B but also with Haschwalth, or make us hate Haschwalth, who knows. I also really want to know how is it that Haschwald's powers and Uryuu's powers switch during the night? And if their powers do switch, does that mean that Haschwald will be even stronger? I hope that also is going to be explained as well. As for who is going to win in this fight, as much as I want Bazz-B to win, it's obviously going to be Haschwald. I just hope that Bazz-B doesn't die though, because he's one of the few Stern Reachers left that I really like. So yeah, overall this was a good chapter, and I'm glad that something actually happened, and I'm hoping that Kubo will keep this up. So tell me guys, what do you think of this week's chapter of Bleach? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Who do you think is going to win, Bazz-B or Haschwald? And what did you think of the beginning with Grimmjow and Askin? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you like it, and subscribe to more videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that is Bleach chapter 630. I'm Lunar Spiralum 27, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!